Hello, 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 what up? How you doing, guys? And welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Inspired Swati. Yes, this is your girl, Lando Dlamini, all the way from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. What an absolute pleasure to be in your faces once again today. And yeah, today is a big day when I reveal one of the best kept secrets on social media. I know so many of you guys have been sliding into my DMs wanting to find out where my next chapter is heading. So today is the day of the big reveal and the big announcement. I also want to give a major shout out to some of my friends on social media who already knew where I'm going to, but were able to actually maintain that secret. So props to you guys. Yes, it is indeed a big announcement. But before I get there, I just want to show my love and gratitude to everyone who watched my last video that was titled I Am Not a Role Model. Oh my gosh, I remember this one particular day when I actually went live with that video. I received a call from someone who was actually in tears. That's how moved they were by the vlog or the vlog that I did. They were just like, Lando, this is so inspirational. You don't understand. I needed to hear this because everyone around me doesn't understand that I'm going through what I'm going through. But after I watched your video, I shared it with everyone. So thank you guys for the love, and thank you for some of the people who've actually listened to that vlog with their youth groups. It's all about inspiring, right? Inspiring the next generation of leaders. Anyway, let me just on-ramp once again because I off-ramped there just for a little bit. This is the moment of the big reveal. Everybody has been waiting with bated breath. So far, I think I've had about 3 or 4 farewell functions, and most of the time everyone is asking, so many farewells, Dlamini, what is happening? Where are you going to? So here we go. Drum rolls, please. Pa. Yes. I am leaving the beautiful and mountainous kingdom of Eswatini, my homeland, the love of my life, my country. I am moving from Eswatini and I am relocating to England. Yes, you heard right. I am going to England, to the beautiful Queen's Land. It's also a kingdom, right? The United Kingdom, that's what they call it. So yes, I am off to the United Kingdom, specifically in England, where I have gotten a huge opportunity to pursue my master's in business administration. Yes! Guess what? Because of God's grace, your girl landed 2 scholarships. No, not 1, but 2 scholarships. But it was literally a miracle. And I wanted to use this opportunity through Inspired Swati to actually share with you my journey as to how I landed 2 major international scholarships to go and study my master's in business administration. So the institute that I'm going to be enrolled in is known as the University of Sussex, one of the top universities in the UK and in the world. We know that in the UK their master's programs are 1 year, and for me that really meant that I'm going to be spending less time on a master's. And also we know that the education system in the United Kingdom is world class. It's top class. I mean, look at the international language, which is English. You know, the education system is solid. It is beyond anyone else's imagination. So I really loved that about the UK, and that's why I specifically chose and had an interest to go and pursue my master's in the United Kingdom. So yes, your girl is moving from the little known Eswatini, that little tiny speck on the map with such awesome people, awesome potential friendly people, and I am moving to the big United Kingdom. And I honestly don't know what to expect. I honestly don't know how to prepare. I have consulted with different friends and family, and they've given me really great reviews about the place, and they told me that you have to make it what you want it to be and surround yourself with the right people. So I'm really looking forward to studying my master's in business administration at the University of Sussex. Yeah. Okay, so you may be wondering why I wanted to do my master's in business administration and what the story or the background story behind that is. So last year, as part of my professional development plan, I sat down with Mr. Nshego, who's the acting CEO of MTN, and he asked me, it's like, okay, Lando, we just see last year you actually graduated with your honors in business management. Yes, guys, your girl's got an honors in business management. It was self-funded. I used some of my money, I split it up to actually pursue my honors in business management through the University of South Africa. So after that milestone was reached, he asked me what's the next step, and I said, you know what, I want to study my MBA. I want to go into master's level. And then he then asked, and he was like, how are you going to go about doing that? How are you going to fund that? And honestly, I was just like, you know what? There's two options. I can work and study, but that is really strenuous on the body, on your mind. It's really strenuous, right? Or the second option was to do it full time, which means that I have to quit my job so that I can focus on my education. I actually got to a point where I was like, you know what? It's okay. I wouldn't mind quitting my job, because at the end of the day, when I further my studies, it actually increases my prospects for the future in a very, very big way. So that's where the conversation started. And then the next question he asked is that, how are you going to fund this? If you decide to do it full time, where's the money going to come from? And honestly, my answer to him was like, I actually had absolutely no idea. I cannot afford an MBA. I was looking with South African universities, with other African universities, and I actually saw that some of them range between 260 Rand or Emalangeni to about 360 Rand in Emalangeni, and I didn't have that money. So my MBA would literally be a work of faith and a work of God in the making. You gotta sit for this one, because it's really good. It gets really, really good. And I'm a storyteller, so I love telling stories and I love sharing my experiences. Sometimes when you look at me, you kind of think that, oh no, Bolando, everything is going, it's always smooth sailing. Things are easy, they're well connected, etc., right? And actually, it's not the case. So that's why I decided to share with you guys, because I know it will inspire you so much. Okay, so here's what happened. Now it's time for me to start looking for a university, right? Okay, so last year I got an opportunity to go for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, which is YALI. Yes, it was started by President Obama. So I am a YALI, Young African Leaders Initiative alumni. Whoop whoop. And I was attached at Clark Atlanta University for 6 weeks for a professional development course. And then I also got an opportunity to present my Ignite talk at the Washington Convention, and that was really a big deal for me. So after I got back from YALI, it was my dream to then start searching for university, right, and pursuing my MBA. So the first order of business was I actually had my eyes set on a specific scholarship. It's a UK scholarship, and some of my friends actually got it this year. So I started working on that. It's the Chevening scholarship. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get the Chevening scholarship. As soon as I come back to Eswatini, which was in August, I am going to start applying for a Chevening scholarship to actually study my MBA, only to find that Chevening doesn't sponsor MBAs because MBAs are quite expensive. So I was like, mwah. So I had to kind of change my application and say I want to do a master's in business management. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, and it wasn't a lot of universities in the UK that offer a master's in business management. But my heart was set, and my sights were set on a master's in business administration specifically. So anyway, I applied for the Chevening scholarship. I applied for now a master's in business management. And I was crossing my fingers. I worked on my application night and day, and you know what? I started speaking positive words and positive affirmations to myself to say, you got this, girl. You're going to get the scholarship. God is on your side. They say speak things into existence and they shall be established, right? So I literally followed that methodology, and I did that. I handed in my application, and I'm like, you know what? Queensland, I'm coming. I'm going to get the scholarship. I believe in my God. I fasted, I prayed, and I tithed, because wow. And then after that, I think in January or February, I get a response from Chevening, and unfortunately, I did not get the scholarship. I was like, what? Woo! Guys, I cried. I literally cried. I was just like, okay, you know what? I actually banked all my hopes on getting the Chevening scholarship, and now I didn't even get it. It also made me feel like I wasn't good enough. I was a failure. what went wrong really? I had all these questions in my head because it's not nice to get rejected, right? And as much as sometimes you can brace yourself for a rejection, but when it happens there and then, it kind of sucks. It sucks a lot, a whole lot. But anyway, being the optimist that I am, I accepted the fact that I didn't get the Chevening scholarship yet. I banked my hopes on it. Guys, I was this far gone. I'd already spoken to a very good friend of mine. She's also in the UK. I hope you don't mind me mentioning you, Mimzo. She's doing amazing things. She was about to leave for the Chevening scholarship, and she was so instrumental in helping me write the essays, answer the questions, and do everything. So, and she, she was so encouraging, and she's like, Lando, just keep a positive mindset. You are going to get it. So she was actually leaving for the UK, and I was now applying. But then, a few months later, I didn't get it, and it really crushed me. But it was okay. And I told her, she was very comforting to me. She's like, you know what, babe, everything happens for a reason. Don't stop applying. Don't stop. So after that, I applied. I had my eyes set for the Commonwealth Scholarship. I'm like, now we start. The Commonwealth Scholarship application really takes a lot in terms of your mental capacity. You really need to motivate, and you really need to know your story, because they want the best of the best, the creme de la creme. So I started working on my Commonwealth application frantically. It was exhausting. It was challenging. It was also like a very good challenge. It helped me think outside the box to say, really, what is it that I want? So just as I was about to get ready to send my application for Commonwealth, I check on their website, and guess what? I had accidentally missed the deadline. I missed the deadline, and when I opened the website, it said the applications for 2019 master's program are closed. Game 2, guys, right? I was so sad. I was so sad. I was just like, wow, because can you imagine, I'd already finished like 90% of that application, and my mistake was not checking on the website to actually see constantly when the application deadline is. And by the time I checked, the application had closed. I think it probably had closed like a week ago or something like that. So it was that bad. I was crushed. Anyway, fast forward. So I then applied for another scholarship. Bank Blutika, guys, they didn't even get back to me. They didn't even acknowledge receipt of my application or anything like that. They just gave me like a nice blue tick. Okay. So you can imagine what I'm going through mentally and emotionally by now. Then after that, I banked my hopes on another scholarship, because this whole scholarship journey, guys, you need to apply if you are fearful and you don't exert yourself, then you won't get what you want. So you need to be relentless even in your approach, right? So I continued, even though I was disheartened and discouraged. There was another scholarship that came out, and all these scholarships, mind you, here's a little hack. I follow this group on Facebook. It's called Opportunity Desk. Blessing from Nigeria. Hi, Blessing. I hope you're watching. I met her at the Mandela Washington Fellowship. She actually let me know about this Facebook group called Opportunity Desk, and she said you should check it constantly, because there's all these nice opportunities for the youth, African youth, that place you in a global frontier. So I kept on checking that group for any scholarships that come up, and then there was one that I saw. I think it was a Canon Collins scholarship. So basically, the Canon Collins scholarship says that you need to first get accepted by either universities in South Africa or in the UK. They have specific affiliate universities that they work with. So in order for even your scholarship application to be considered, you first need to be accepted by the respective affiliate universities, right? So one of the affiliate universities that they had was the University of Sussex. Right? So I applied for the Canon scholarship, but in order to meet their criteria, I first have to apply to the University of Sussex. I applied to the University of Sussex for my MBA because it's what I've always wanted, Masters in Business Administration. My application goes through, and they give me a conditional offer. They say that we need to have a Skype call with you and do an interview with you first, just to figure out what your story is, what you're about, etc. So I get interviewed by Amy from the University of Sussex. Amazing Amy. Wow. Because God will bring people in your life who will people will come through for you. He comes through with the come through, guys. Anyway, so I get interviewed by Amy and she really likes me. Firstly, what really stands out when you're doing some of these scholarship applications is the work that you're currently doing in your country for the development of your country. So as a young person, don't think you're just going to be chilling there, comfortable in your comfort zone, and you're not doing anything to give back to society or to the development of your country, the progression of your country. And that is why for me, I've started my agriculture business, which actually helps to employ youth in my community and also works towards food security of Eswatini. Also, I have my very close project that I'm passionate about called Beauty with a Purpose, where I capacitate young single mothers like me who may not have gotten the opportunities that I've got. I give them that awkward moment when you get a call while doing your vlog, guys. Sorry about that. I literally got a call through my phone and I use my phone for my vlog recordings. But anyway, I was still telling you about the project that's very close to my heart called Beauty with a Purpose. So basically I empower young women and young mothers like me with beauty skills, how to do hair, makeup, nails, and accessories, right? This actually gives them a fighting chance even in life because they're opportunities for employment are actually low. So through Beauty with a Purpose, I've been able to capacitate these young women. To follow on more details on the project, please check out my Instagram page at Lando_Goshe, and that's where you're going to find all the details about Beauty with a Purpose. The second installment is going to come through, right? So basically the reason why I brought that up is that as you apply, you need to build your profile with these different projects that you do, either in your workplace or as an individual on Saturdays or whatever, you to say, this is what I'm doing to actually better my country, better the society, and better the world, right? Anyway, so back to the interview. I get interviewed by Amy and she loves all the projects that I'm doing. She loves the work that I'm doing with MTN, but also the individual projects that I have. And then she asked me a very pivotal and fundamental question, and she says, okay, Lando, we really like you. I really like what you're about, but how are you going to fund your education, your master's? And I was honest with her and I just told her, you know what? I do not have money. I cannot afford my MBA. I can't afford it. And then she said, then where are you banking your hopes? And I said, I've applied for the Canon Collins scholarship and I'm hoping that that is going to come through. As such, then I'll get entrance into the University of Sussex. And then she says, you know what, you should actually consider looking at other scholarship that the university itself offers, right? And I'm like, okay, tell me more. And she says there's the International Scholarship Award that's given to international students, and there's also the Women Leaders Scholarship. It's an international scholarship for women who are future leaders or current leaders in their industries or field. And she says you should really consider applying for those. And I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. But you know, I wasn't holding my breath for it because after so many of these other rejections, close to 3 rejections, you know, I was just like, you know. Anyway, I went on ahead and I followed her instructions and I actually sent in my application. So now I'm waiting for the results from my Canon Collins application. I'd sent it through, and like after a month or so, I actually got the bad news. Another rejection, guys. They say, unfortunately, the Canon Collins scholarship is highly competitive and you did not make it. We apologize. And you know how they make you feel. They try to make you feel good and they try to give you hope, but at the end of the day you actually feel like you're not good enough. All these rejections, guys, not even one like positive, not even a false positive. Gay looking at me, I'm like, Lord, at least pass me a bone or something, right? Anyway, I was gutted, and that's when I was like, you know what, let me just abandon my UK scholarship applications because clearly this thing is not panning out. But because God being God, I get an email randomly. It says, congratulations, you have got or you have been awarded the University of Sussex Chancellor's International Award, which covers 50% of your tuition for your MBA. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes! Whoop, whoop, and I was happy. Well, my happiness was short-lived because this is 50% of the tuition fee, and I don't even have money. I'm like, where's the other 50% gonna come from? I'm like, Lord, I trust you. You have actually brought me this far now, and I know you're gonna make a plan for me. You won't bring me this far to leave me. So what happens after that? I think a month later, I get an email from Isabel from the University of Sussex, and she's like, okay, you've been shortlisted for the Women Leaders International Award. It's a very prestigious one. We would like to interview you. So they literally had a panel of 7 people where I had to lay down my story. And a good friend of mine at that time, he really helped me with my application and said, Lando, you're a storyteller. Just tell them your story, everything that you've been through, what you've achieved so far, how lit your social media has been, and how you're using social media to drive positive, impactful messages to change the world. And I did exactly that, and they loved me, and they said, you know what, we're going to shortlist you. We still need to do other interviews, but we're also going to recommend you. So now I'm waiting for this the Women Leadership Scholarship would then also top up 50% of my tuition and then some, just for my cost of living. So now I'm crossing my fingers and toes and I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, come through for me. And then sometime in June, guys, I get word back from the Women Leaders Scholarship. And they told me that I made it. I was selected. I was the only female who was selected for 2019. So now it's 50% of Chancellor's International Scholarship, and the other 50% from the Women Leadership Scholarship. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And then there was also a catch to it. They told me that basically we will only cover your tuition, but your cost of living, which is about, you'll probably need about 200,000 just for cost of living, your visa applications and everything, we won't be able to cover for it. We will just cover strictly tuition. And those two scholarships combined, guys, are close to 500,000 emalangeni or rands. Won't God do it? 500,000. Yo, wow. After so many of these rejections, you can't imagine what I'm going through, guys. So anyway, so they say that the cost of living, you'll have to cover for it. The other lady who was supposed to come through a few years back couldn't make it because, well, you know what I mean. Those are just the conditions of the scholarship. But I saw God coming through once again, and a miracle happened, and I was able to get 200,000. That is now going to help me with my cost of living adjustments and everything for the UK. And guys, yes, so your girl is headed to the United Kingdom, to England, University of Sussex, all the way in Brighton. And my story, as you guys have heard, wasn't a walk in the park. It wasn't a bed of roses. There were lots of rejections that I underwent and I went through. But what is most important is your relentless spirit. Always be motivated. Always try and be positive. Even when the no's come, just remember the God that you serve. Remember that you need to praise Him in all circumstances, and you also need to praise Him in advance, right? So that's exactly what I did. But also, what is key is that giving back to the world with the little projects that I would do, the sanitary projects, the menstrual cup ones. If you know of my project where I'm actually giving menstrual cups to young ladies who can't afford their period, right? All those little projects culminate into something big to say you are actually wanting to be a world changer. And some of these opportunities are going to open up because you have chosen to be selfless, to have a giving and caring heart and a caring spirit to make the world a better place. And then the universe and God is going to reward you with some of these opportunities. So as you guys work on your applications and want to further your studies, I really want to encourage you guys not to give up. Have confidence in yourself. Even when they reject you, it's okay. Continue to try. I was watching a YouTube video of some other lady who actually applied for over 100 scholarships, and she got 11 of those scholarships, but all those 11 scholarships combined still couldn't cover her tuition, right? So you can imagine the motivation that she had. And as much as you face rejections, well, continue applying and trying, because the only antidote to fear is to take action, as Lisa said. But also another pointer that I will give you is that continue doing these small projects, community development projects. Do them from a good heart. Do them with the passion that you have to see Eswatini better, to see your country better, to contribute and become a solutionist and not a complainer, right? Because in order for change to come in your country, in your world, it literally starts with you. What are the daily habits that you are doing and inculcating to make your world, your life your environment a better place, right? So I will just want to encourage you guys, just continue giving yourself out selflessly. Don't expect nothing in return, and then God is going to bless you and is going to open doors. As I start my new journey, I'm leaving my daughter Faisal behind. I want to ask you guys, please pray for me. Keep me in your prayers. I will keep you guys constantly updated every step of the way on some of the experiences that I'm having, some of the adjustment issues that I might be facing. I will also be investing hectically on my mental health, because being away from home, homesickness and everything can be a really daunting task. So I am really going to be immersing myself with positive affirmations, TED Talks, Pastor Stephen Furtick, prayer from JC, like my building and establishing a very strong spiritual life, so that I'm able to cope in the Queensland far away from home. Your girl, guys, is now a global citizen. Pray for me. I will keep you posted on my journey. Be on the lookout for my travel vlog that I'll be doing. Yes, I've got a travel vlog. #journey with Lando. I hope it all makes sense now. So keep it locked on my channel, and I will let you know how the whole adjustment, the whole, getting used to a new environment is going, some of the challenges, some of the wins, and all of that. I'm excited, you guys, and thank you for your love. Thank you for your love outpouring. I don't have time for negativity, guys. If you're negative, the door is wide open. But for everyone on my channel who's watched and who's listened, you guys have been so positive, so loving, and so encouraging, and I thank you for loving me back. Mwah. I'll keep you posted next on Inspired Swati. See you next time. Mwah, mwah, mwah.